These are budget Ohlins 36 forks, and while they look great on camera, in real life they're looking tired and tatty, and worst of all, there's an oil leak too. I'm going to be refurbishing these with basic hand tools in my shed, and best of all, I'm going to give them a custom paint job in Bentley Beluga Black with gold decals to match my Production Privee Shan GT. And I'm going to do all of that in just 1 week so I can show this bike off at Ardrock 2024. Let's get into it. Alright, there are 3 steps to making this old Ohlins fork look new again and look stunning on that Shan GT frame. Step 1, remove the lower leg assembly, the chassis, from the suspension unit. Step 2, remove all those old stickers, sand down that paintwork and get rid of any ugly scratches. And then step 3, get that Bentley Black Beluga paint and give it a good painting all over, then a lacquer, and then add the new gold custom decals, and it's gonna look sick. Let's head over to Andy. Finally, okay, so as Andy was just saying, there are a few steps to this process of refurbishing this Ohlins RFX 36 M.2, and step 1 is to remove the lower legs, the chassis, from the rest of the suspension fork, and this, I think, should be pretty simple. Let's get into it. Alright, and we're back, and now we're going to remove the lower leg, the chassis, from the fork. So to do that, we put it into a bike stand, hold it by the steering tube, tighten it up so it doesn't fall down, and we're going to lift it up like so, and that will prevent the oil from pouring out when we remove the lowers. Now, I don't think it's necessary to do this, I've checked online, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the air from the fork before I undo anything. These things are under immense pressure, and the last thing you want to do is undo this and something coming fly out into your face. So you'll let all the air out of the positive and the negative air chambers on this before I go any further. With the air out of the fork, it should be safe to remove the lower leg assembly. Now before you do this, make sure you've got something that you can put the lower leg in for the oil to drain out into. I don't have a bucket, so I'm just going to use an old box. Now you need a small Allen key, a 2.5mm I think it is. Now you need a 14mm wrench to undo the bolts. Now with both of those bolts undone, it should be safe to remove the lower leg from the actual fork assembly. So undo this, get all the way, and now we should be good just to slide this off. There we go, nice and easy. Annoyingly, I didn't have my microphone on and I recorded the wrong section then. So I'm going to quickly try and show you how I took the seals out of the lower legs. Oh man, it's so warm today. Right, so I've got the lower legs here, and you can see I've already taken the seals out of there, but basically what I did was, these are the seals, and let's imagine they're in there like so. All I did was this, I got a cloth just to stop me from accidentally gouging some of the magnesium out of the chassis itself. Simply got a screwdriver, flat-headed screwdriver, and they're quite simple. You pop this in here and you lever it out. Boom, done, easy peasy. And in there you got your wiper seal, and also beneath that, I've already taken them out, are these, and these are little foam rings, like onion rings, calamari. These are soaked in suspension fork oil, and basically these wipe the stanchions as the suspension's going up and down, keeps them all nice and lubed. We're going to put fresh ones in. I've got fresh ones here from JTech Suspension, so we've got fresh wiper seals, foam rings, and these black, I don't know if you can see them, these black ones here, they're the lower bump stops. So we're going to put these on, but before we do put them on, we are going to remove all the stickers. We're going to remove this little cable guide here. We're going to give them a good clean up with some degreaser. So once you've got them all stripped down, you get your wire wool and you give it a quick sand all over. Now the idea is not to take the paint off, but just to rough this up so you've got a nice rough finish for the new paint to stick to. Alright, so it's a new day, new t-shirt, and these are nice and dry. Now off camera, what I've done is I've removed the bottom out bumpers from the lower legs, just using a spoke, poking it through and then hucking it and pulling out this end. The only issue is now I don't know which way around those go, so I need to look at that online. And again, off camera, I've given these another sand down, a clean, and I put some bit of brake cleaner on to make sure there's no grease on there too. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to warm them up with a hairdryer. My wife's not in, so I'll use her hairdryer. Make sure these are nice and dry, and then we can get on to painting. And now the fun begins. We've got to agitate this for 2 minutes, and then we can give the lower legs a good spraying. So I've hung them up here on this old frame. Alright, so I think I'm going to do a third coat of paint before I'm going to lacquer them. I'm going to be quick though because it looks like it's about to rain. So they're looking pretty good. Let's turn the camera around to show you. And as you can see, they're all coated in the Beluga black paint, looking pretty good. But now I'm going to lacquer them. So agitate the lacquer, get that on there, and they should look really glossy and shiny too. Alright, so with a bit of sanding with some 5000 grit, a bit of polish with this buffer, they are looking pretty good. They're really shiny. There's a few areas that aren't quite as good as I hoped, but I think that's because I painted them on a pretty humid day. But how do they look compared to the super glossy Shan GT that they're going to go on? As you can see, the Shan GT is crazy shiny. They've done such a good job of polishing that from the factory. So how do these home painted legs look compared to this? And I've got to say, not that bad. The paint is a perfect match, and they're probably as glossy. I mean, not quite, but not bad at all. And when I've put these custom stickers on by Slick Graphics, they are going to look absolutely insane on there. So let's put these stickers on the lower legs and get the seals in and reassemble this fork and get it on the frame. And now I've been soaking these fork seals in here with some suspension fork oil, and then I can pop the new seals on. Seals here. I'm going to put a little bit of oil around there, and then I'm going to use this headset tool to knock them into place. Alright, we're back inside now because we're going to put this lower with the fresh seals inside. As you can see, fresh seals, some shram butter in there too. Oh, easy, popped on, no problem. 14mm nuts. Looking good. They are going to look amazing once once all the stickers are on there too. Let's get that done. Okay, so the forks are done and I think they look sick. Just check them out. I don't know what you guys think, but I think for a homemade paint job, that looks pretty damn good. Super shiny looking. Those graphics really set it off as well. Look how shiny that is in the light, and look at it on that frame. It just looks absolutely amazing. The gold isn't quite right, and I've got these decals a bit too far around, but it looks good. It looks custom. Can't wait to finish it off. There's that HXR stem. We're going to get the easy shift on there later, but we'll save that for another video. So that's how you refurbish an Ohlins fork and make it look sick for your Shan GT. If you enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And also, I'll be having more videos soon where I complete this build using the HXR Easy Shift, some new PT's grips, Bergtech bar, Crank Brothers saddle and Crank Brothers seat post physique saddle, Pirelli tires. It's going to be a really cool motorsport inspired build. Ohlins obviously has that motorsport heritage. The GT frame has that JPS look, and Pirelli tires. I mean, it's basically a Formula 1 bike. Anyway, thanks very much for sticking around for this video, and yeah, see you all soon. Bye bye.